Sorry about the internet disruption. This is the second part of the Civil War explanation breakdown. Here is some extra information on the home front. Southern inf- we left off reviewing of the IRS. It was founded to collect taxes on the rich who made more than $800 per year. The Congress also authorized greenbacks, which were paper currencies printed based on federal government's promise to pay rather than providing actual gold or silver as security. In addition to this, they also made them legal tender, which meant that no one could refuse them as payment for goods and debts. So you had no choice but to accept them. The Confederates would also print out a paper money, although they called them graybacks to sound different than what the North was doing. The effects of ethnic groups on home front. The Irish Catholic population didn't care about freeing black people from slavery and wanted to minimize competitions of stream dock jobs of New York by keeping the status quo. There, Archbishop John Hughes spoke out against the war on the groups of it consisting a large amount of lives in order to gratify a clique of abolitionists. An anti-black riot broke out in 1862 by Irish dockworkers, but they were defeated by black strikebreakers. When the Emancipation Proclamation was crafted in 1863, the Peace Democratic viewpoint of seeing the war as unnecessary and the anti-abolitionist viewpoint led to mobs attacking draft officers in black neighborhoods, Republican newspapers, and government offices. The mob killed 105 people, most of them being black, and they were only stopped when the Union troops arrived from Gettysburg on July 15, 1863. William T. Sherman's March to Sea. The Confederacy hoped that the Peace Democrats, known also as the Copperhead Democrats, would elect a new president that was less adamant at maintaining the war, so Petersburg wouldn't be seized. The Democrats elected General McClellan due to his care for peace. Lincoln previously fired him from being the Union general because he was deemed too cautious. When Grant left to fight in East Virginia, he left the subordinate in charge of fighting the West. Sherman was determined to cut off the Confederate in half once again in the west to east in a similar manner to how it was cut off in half along the Mississippi River in the siege of Vicksburg. Confederate General John Bell Hood attempted to stop Sherman from reaching the major railroad center in Atlanta, but Sherman eventually captured it after the Confederates evacuated and burned down the town so the Unions can retrieve the supplies from it. Confederate Admiral Farragut led a successful raid in Mobile Bay, Alabama, against a Confederate fort that was used for blockade runners. These major Union victories rallied support for Lincoln's campaign by making the North more optimistic about abolitionism